Hello friends, I welcome you all in this lecture series. In this lecture series, we will discuss classification, formulation, management and precautions related to the use of insecticides. So let's start. Pesticides are the substances or mixture of substances which can kill or check the growth of any pests which are detrimental to humans, field crops, or the environment. Depending upon the type of pest they kill, they can be classified as insecticides which kill harmful insects, herbicide which are used to kill unwanted plants, rodenticides which are used to kill rodent pests, bactericides which are used to kill bacteria, fungicides which are used to kill disease causing fungi. The word side comes from the Latin word sida, that meaning killer. Insecticides are the substances or mixture of substances which can kill or check the growth of one or more insect species. Insecticides can be classified in many ways, but broadly they can be classified as synthetic or natural based on their origin. Among synthetic insecticides, organophosphates, organochlorines, carbamates, neonicotinoids, synthetic pyrethroids are the main classes. Among natural insecticides, azadirachtin, nicotine, rotenone, sabadilla, natural pyrethrins forms the natural insecticides. Insecticides can be classified on the basis of their mode of action. These include systemic. Systemic insecticides are absorbed and translocated throughout the plant, for example, folate and carbofuran. Contact type of insecticides kills the insect upon contact. They are designed for rapid absorption through the insect cuticle, for example, pyrethrum. Stomach poisons are applied to that part of plant that serves as food for the insect, for example, DDT. Fumigant. Fumigants are the gaseous insecticides. These enter the insect as vapors, for example methyl bromide and aluminium bromide. One insecticide can act in one or more than one mode of action. For example, DDT can act as contact insecticide as well as stomach insecticide, and similarly other insecticides can also act as more than one mode of action. Apart from that, insecticides can be classified on the basis of their chemistries, their biochemical mode of actions, etc. This slide showed the crop protection market split in the Indian as well as on the world front. In the world front, we can see herbicides hold the major share, that is 47%, whereas the insecticide contributes only 30%. While the reverse trend is there in Indian scenario, where insecticides hold the major share, that is 65%, whereas the share of herbicide is only 16%. This is basically due to two reasons. First, the warm weather of India, which favors the insect growth, and second, the cheap labor for the weed management in field crops. Therefore, in the Indian context, the management of insecticide becomes even more important. Organochlorines represent the first class of synthetic insecticides. Organochlorine insecticides are organic compounds having 5 or more chlorine atoms. These are among the first insecticides of synthetic origin to be used in agriculture as well as in public health. These act as nervous system disruptors, leading to convulsions and paralysis of the insect and eventually their death. These are highly persistent chemicals that are chemically inert and photostable. These are hydrophilic and get easily absorbed on fat tissues of the living organisms. These tend to build up in the food chain. and the major insecticides of this class includes DDT and its analogues and the cyclodine insecticides including chlordane, heptachlor, eldrin, dieldrin and endosulfan. Following are the chemical structures of some of the most popular organochlorine insecticides. These insecticides include DDT, lindane, endosulfan, eldrin, dieldrin, chlordane. These are highly persistent, so due to their toxicity and persistence, most of them are banned at present. DDT is one of the most popular synthetic insecticides. Chemically, it is dichloro-diphenyl trichloroethane, and in short, it is known as DDT. DDT was first synthesized in 1874 by Othman Ziedler, but its insecticidal properties were discovered by Paul Muller in 1939. It is used in the second half of World War to control malaria and typhus among civilians and military troops. For this, Muller was awarded Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1948. Commercial DDT is a mixture of two isomers, para-para isomer that is desired. The concentration of para-para DDT in DDT formulation is 77%, whereas significant amount of orthopara isomer is also present, that is up to 15%. For the discovery of insecticidal properties of DDT, Muller was awarded Nobel Prize as DDT saved millions of lives globally through the control of malaria-causing mosquitoes. And at present, DDT is banned. So what happened in between? The next two slides will answer. Rachel Carson, an American biologist, published a book Silent Spring in 1962. In her book, she catalogued the environmental impacts of indiscriminate use of DDT in USA. In her book, she suggested that the use of DDT and other pesticides may cause cancer, and their use was a threat to the wildlife, especially the birds, because DDT has resulted in the thinning of shells of birds' eggs, leading to premature hatching, which was the major reason for reduction in population of birds. As a result, DDT was banned in USA in 1972. Agricultural use of DDT in India banned in the year 1989, and at present in India DDT can only be used for the public health care programs. One must think that how the birds like American bald eagle, which are at the top of a trophic level, are most susceptible to DDT. This slide will answer. As we can see in this figure, the concentration of DDT in water or in the phytoplanktons, which are at the bottom of the food chain, is 0.04 ppm, but as we move at the second trophic level, in the small fishes, the concentration of DDT increased almost 5 to 10 folds, that is 0.23 ppm, while moving to the third trophic level, where the larger fishes, the concentration of DDT is as high as 2.07 ppm, that is 10 folds higher than the second trophic level. And finally, at the top of the trophic level, that is fourth trophic level, where the birds like American bald eagle came, the concentration of DDT reached as high as 13.8 ppm. So the major reason is the concentration effect of DDT, which occurs because DDT is metabolized and excreted much slowly than the nutrients that are passed from one trophic level to the next. So DDT tends to accumulate in the bodies, especially in the fat tissues. Therefore, most of the DDT ingested as a part of gross production remains present in the net production that remains at the trophic level. That is why hazard of DDT to non-target organisms is particularly acute, and for those living at the top of the food chain. Just like DDT, endosulfan is another popular insecticide belonging to the organochlorine class of insecticides. It was widely used in Indian agriculture, but presently it is completely banned. The story related to its ban is very interesting. It was first used as aerial spray in Kasaragod district of Kerala in the year 1976 to control tea mosquito bug in cashew plantations. Only 3 years after its use as aerial spray, its ill effect started appearing when stunted growth and deformed limbs were observed in newborn cows. Till 90s, the ill effects were visible on humans, and in 1998 mass movement started for its ban. Following this, district court banned its use in Kasaragod district, and then Kerala High Court banned its use in state in the year 2002. Finally, in the year 2011, Honorable Supreme Court banned its use throughout the country. Organophosphorus compounds are one of the largest group of insecticides in use today, and they have largely replaced the organochlorine insecticides. Chemically, they are neutral ester or amide derivatives of phosphorus acid carrying a phosphoryl or thiophosphoryl group. The basic structure of an organophosphorus insecticide is represented in this slide. While having high toxicity, they are relatively non-persistent, making them comparatively safer for the environment. The German chemist Gerhard Schroeder synthesized many commercial organophosphorus compounds, out of which parathion is still used as common pesticide. At the beginning of Second World War, the development of organophosphorus substances leading to the development of highly toxic compounds popularly known as nerve gases, for example sarin, tabun and soman. The most common examples of organophosphorus insecticides includes monocrotophos, chlorpyrifos, parathion, conalphos, malathion, phorate and acephate. The discovery of insecticidal properties of DDT stimulated the search for newer pesticide molecules. In this context, carbamates class of insecticide emerged after organochlorine and organophosphorus insecticides. Carbamates are derivatives of carbamic acid, and carbaryl was the first commercial carbamate insecticide which was introduced in the year 1956. There is an interesting story related to the carbamates. Biologically active carbamates have been used as far back as 17th century in the Calabar region of Nigeria. The natives of Calabar used to collect coffee-colored beans, popularly called Calabar beans, from the plant Physostigma venenosum. The crushed beans were used as a poison ordeal to establish the guilt of a prisoner. The accused to be judged was forced to swallow the milky portion of crushed Calabar bean seeds in a small quantity of water. If the prisoner was fortunate enough to regurgitate the milk and survive, he was declared innocent. But if he died, he was declared guilty. Active ingredient responsible for the toxicity of Calabar bean extract was isolated and named physostigmine. Although its molecular structure was established in 1925, the compound was synthesized in 1935 only. Following the synthesis of physostigmine, large number of methyl carbamates were synthesized and proven to be toxic to many insect species. Following are the chemical structures of most popular carbamate insecticides. These include LD-carb, LD-carb sulfoxide, carbaryl, fenburacarb, methiocarb, methomyl, primicarb. Most of you must have used Baygon for the management of cockroach in household. Similarly, neonicotinoids is another class of insecticides. Neonicotinoids are a class of insecticides which are neurologically active, and and their chemical structure are somewhat similar to nicotine. In the 1980s, Shell Chemical Company, and in the year 1990, Bayer Chemical Company started work on their development. The most popular neonicotinoid insecticides includes acetamiprid, clothianide, imidacloprid, nitenpyram, thiacloprid, and thiamethoxam. Imidacloprid is among the most widely used insecticide worldwide, but due to the associated hazards, it is now going to be banned in many parts of the world. As compared to the organophosphate and the carbamate insecticides, neonicotinoids cause less toxicity in birds and mammals in comparison to the insects. Although neonicotinoids are very effective in insect pest management, and they are also comparatively less toxic for the vertebrates, but they are generally associated with the colony collapse disorder of honeybees. Colony collapse disorder is an abnormal phenomena that occurs when the majority of worker bees in a honeybee colony disappear, leaving behind a queen with food and few nurse bees to care for the remaining immature bees. The mechanism and cause remain unclear. However, pesticides are one suggested reason. Recent research suggested that neonicotinoids may be potentially toxic to honeybees. This is the main reason for the banning of neonicotinoids in many parts of the world. Natural pyrethrins are the insecticides of natural origin, and they are obtained from the flowers of plant Chrysanthemum cineifolium. Natural pyrethrins are light sensitive and degrades rapidly in the presence of sunlight. Synthetic pyrethroids are the synthetic analogues and derivatives of natural pyrethrins, and these include variety of groups of chemicals which represents more than 1000 insecticides. Though they are analogues of pyrethrins, their production has involved extensive chemical modifications which make them highly toxic, and the problem of degradation was solved, and they are having optimum degradation time and are stable towards sunlight. Synthetic pyrethroids are the active ingredient of most of the mosquito refills and coil formulations. Following are the chemical structures of common synthetic pyrethroids. These include fluvalinate, cyhalothrin, cyfluthrin, fenpropathrine, bifenthrin, cypermethrin, tetramethrin, permethrin. Their name generally end with the term thrin. Biopesticides are the insecticides made from naturally occurring substances that control pests by non-toxic mechanisms and in eco-friendly manner. Biopesticides may be derived from animals, for example nematodes, plants like Chrysanthemum, from which synthetic pyrethrins are obtained, Azadirachta, that is the neem plant, and microorganisms that include Bacillus thuringiensis. You must have heard about Bt toxins, and Trichoderma species and nuclear polyhedrosis viruses. Biopesticides are generally less toxic to the user and non-target organisms, making them desirable and sustainable tools for disease or insect pest management. However, their stability under sunlight and environment are comparatively lower. Biopesticides are of different types. These can broadly be classified as microbial pesticides, pesticides of botanical origin, or plant incorporated protectants. Microbial pesticides are obtained from various bacteria, fungus, or viruses. The examples of microbial pesticides are avermectins, milbemycins, polynectins, and nuclear polyhedrosis viruses. The botanical insecticides include those insecticides which are obtained from plant-based sources. These include neem, nicotine, rotenone, and pyrethrins. Then plant incorporated protectants. These are basically genetic material toxins and these are produced by Bt toxin bacteria. Neem has long been used in our country for various purposes, including medicinal and pest management purposes. Neem has long been used for the purpose of management of stored grain insects. Neem leaves were added to the stored grains to protect them from insect pests. Neem is a native to India. Neem tree is a member of mahogany family. Its insect control efficiency was first recognized by the withstanding of neem trees from locust which formed on the tree but left without feeding. The extracts from seed and leaves have pest and insect control activities. The neem extract is a mixture of related compounds. Chemically they belong to tetranotriterpenoid group. Azadirachtin is the main component. Its concentration usually ranged between 2 to 4 mg per gram of neem seed kernel. It is a feeding deterrent and growth regulator. Then meliantriol, it is a feeding inhibitor and causing insect to cease eating even in extremely low concentration. Then selenin also is a powerful feeding inhibitor. Nimbid and nimbidin shows the antiviral activity and they are responsible for the antiviral properties of neem. All insecticides have hazards associated with them. Therefore, evaluation of toxicity of insecticides become very much important. So first, we should understand what is toxicity and what is hazard. The word toxicity refers to the inherent toxicity of compound or how toxic an insecticide is to the animals under experimental conditions. The word hazard on the other side refers to the risk or danger of poisoning when an insecticide is used or applied. Hazard depends not only on toxicity but also on the chance of exposure to the toxic insecticide or the amount of the insecticide. Then there are two types of toxicity: acute toxicity and chronic toxicity. Acute toxicity of an organism by an insecticide occurs when the insecticide acts at once. It manifests itself in upsetting of the vital activity of the organism with a possible lethal outcome. The acute toxicity is obviously of paramount interest to people engaged in direct manufacturing, preparing of formulation of insecticides, and those responsible for application of insecticides. It can be defined as the toxicity that causes injury or health in defects or the death from a single or multiple exposure over a short period of time, that is usually 24 hours. On the other hand, chronic toxicity involves a multi-dose exposure over an extended period of time, usually few months to the few years. The main purpose is to determine any undesirable or delayed harmful effects. Chronic toxicity of an organism is the result of repeated action of relatively small amount of insecticide and manifests itself in slowly developing malfunction of normal vital activities. The toxicity of insecticide varies depend on their amount, ways of penetration, the duration of action, the state of organism and the environment. Then carcinogenicity. Carcinogenicity is a specific form of oncogenicity characterized by malignant tumors. Oncogenicity is the property of an insecticide which produces or induces malignant tumors in living animals. The purpose of studying oncogenicity is to examine whether the test substance has potential to cause carcinogenicity. Then mutagenicity. Mutagenicity is the property of a substance which induces changes in the genetic complement of somatic or germinal tissue in subsequent generations. Objectives for mutagenicity assessment is to detect the capacity of a chemical to alter the genetic material in the cell. Then comes teratogenicity. Teratogenicity is the property of an insecticide which produces or induces functional deviation of developmental anomalies in animal embryo or fetus. This study is designed to examine the potential of insecticide to induce permanent malformation and functional disorder of the fetus as a result of exposure to the mother during pregnancy. Data of this study provide information on the safety of applicator, particularly for women in pregnancy. To represent the toxicity of insecticide, there are certain expressions which can give an estimate of the toxicity of an insecticides. We will discuss these expressions one by one. The toxicity of insecticide to an organism is usually expressed in terms of LD50, that is lethal dose. That it is the amount of insecticide per unit weight of an organism which is required to kill 50% of the test population. Test population is the population of test organism on which the toxicity evaluation is performed. The LD50 is usually expressed in milligrams per kilogram of body weight or milligram per kg. Under certain conditions, the term microgram per insect may be used when the chemical is applied topically to the insect. Another expression is LC50, that is lethal concentration. It is the concentration of the chemical in the external medium which is required to kill 50% of the test population. This value is used when the exact dose given to the insect cannot be determined. For example, toxicity of an insecticide to mosquito larvae or fish is usually assessed by the concentration of insecticide in water that will result in 50% mortality of the organism which are exposed for a specified period of time. This is expressed as the percent of active ingredient of chemical in the medium or as parts per million, that is ppm. There is another term that is LT50, that is lethal time. It represents the time required for 50% mortality of test organism at a specified dose or concentration. In some instances, the rate of knockdown rather than kill is measured as a criteria of toxicity. In such cases, the knockdown dose or the KT50 is used. Knockdown is a state when insects become inactive although they are live. In other situations, killing or knockdown does not constitute the desired criteria. For example, in the testing of growth regulators or chemostimulants, the object is not to kill the organism but rather to affect their development stages and egg viability. In such cases, the ED50 or the effective dose or EC50 or effective concentration is used to describe the results of such tests. To determine the extent of toxicity of any insecticide, it is essential to have a suitable method for testing. There are many methods. We will discuss each of them one by one. There are several ways of administering a chemical or an insecticide to an insect. A commonly employed method is topical application, where the insecticide is dissolved in a relatively non-toxic solvent and small droplets are applied at a chosen location on the body surface. The results are expressed as microgram of active ingredient per insect or as active ingredient per gram of insect. Then second method is injection method. When knowledge of exact amount of insecticide inside the body of the insect is needed, the injection method is used. Care must be taken to avoid bleeding by the insect in this method. Then dipping method. This method employed when topical application or injection methods are impractical. For example, with small plant feeding insect, stored grain insects, housefly larvae, etc. In this method, the insects are dipped in insecticide solutions for a short period of time. In this case, the LC50 is used to express the results. Then contact or residual method. The insecticide in a volatile solvent is applied to a glass container such as a vial or a jar. The solvent is allowed to evaporate by rotating the container so that the insecticide is spread evenly over the entire surface, leaving a thin residual film. The deposits are expressed as milligram or gram of active ingredient per square meter. Then finally, feeding or the drinking method. This method is used to evaluate the toxicity of ingested chemicals. This method can be classified as unlimited availability of food or the drink or the limited dose, where the dose which is given to the test organisms is quantified or controlled. With this, we will finish the first part of this lecture. I hope this lecture helped you all to get familiar